Hello everybody, Matthew Armstrong here on day 13 of our 90-day transformation from mediocrity to mastery. Thank you for hanging on the call there because we're starting just over 10 minutes late. I appreciate that, thank you. So the last night's hangout, the recording for that went to a different channel. We uploaded it to a different channel, one of our other channels by mistake. So we were going to download that and re-upload it to my main channel. So that will be up as well after this one, I guess. Yeah. It might not be in order then, but we'll do our best. We'll get it up there if you didn't see yesterday's one. And if this is the first hangout you're watching, then make sure after you complete watching this that you go back and watch them all sequentially, so you know exactly what's going on, and exactly what we're doing, and the whole program and the process of transformation. It's an awesome thing. I'm getting a lot out of it, and I know a lot of other people are as well. And so I'm sure you're getting something out of it as well, even if you're just watching passively. But if you're watching actively and you've purchased the Values Factor by Dr. John Demartini, then and you're reading it, you're doing the exercise in it, then you're well on your way. Well on your way. So, you know, I've learned from many people in my life. It's something that I've looked to do. I've looked to go to great leaders, people who have had outstanding achievements in different things, and I've always just looked for the best. You know, I was like, well, why settle for second best? I've always just looked for the best, and I'm going to learn from them. You know, when I learned martial arts, I went, well, okay, well, I want to go and learn from the best. I want to go and learn from the Grand Master in Japan. I wanted to do ninjutsu. So I went and trained with Masaaki Hasumi, who is the grandfather of modern-day ninjutsu, right? So, you know, I've always looked to go to the best. When I was interested in personal development and communication, okay, well, who's the best in the world? I went to train with Tony Robbins. You know, he was the person who was out there the most, you know, like the world's #1 peak performance strategist, as he's commonly known as. Okay, I want to go and learn from him, you know. And so you know, that's what I've done in many things in my life. I've just looked for who's the best, and then I came across Dr. John Demartini's work, and I'm like, okay, well, I'm going to learn from him now, you know, and I've learned a great deal from him, even though I only just met him once for a few minutes. I've been to see him live once, read a number of his books, some of them over and over again, listened to his audios over and over again, and I've got a great deal from it. So that's why I thought, when I got this book, The Values Factor, and went through that, I thought, okay, this is really powerful stuff, and I'd like to share it with everybody who, you know, who watches my stuff, who reads my blogs and watches my my videos and is on my team, because I thought, well, everyone can benefit from this, but if I just tell people to go and buy the book, you know, how many people will do that? And so I wanted to make an impact with it and go through this process, and I believe it's a very powerful thing to do, a very good thing to do. But yeah, like I said, some of the stuff I'm going to read about tonight. I just want to tell you a quick story before we get into that. You see the Superman t-shirt, right? Superman t-shirt, it does actually protect me. It does actually make me more powerful, and you know, like bullets bounce off me. Energy bullets bounce off me when I'm wearing this t-shirt. So it might sound weird, it might sound you know, fantasy-like, but it does actually work. And like I said, I went training for Tony Robbins, and I was actually a crew member of Tony Robbins, and I crewed at his events many years ago. And one of the events I was at, there was a process in it, and they call it the Dickens process. And in that process, they have everyone in a room, and it could be up to 10,000 people, or even more sometimes, in a room. And Tony takes everyone through this process where he gets them to focus on all the really bad, negative stuff in their life, and where they're going to keep going with that if they don't make a change. So he takes them through from the past, the present, the future, like the Dickens process, right? And the spiritual process. So he takes them to the future, and shows them, this is how bad your life's going to get if you don't make these changes in your life, right? And just shows people the reality of it. And what that actually does is it creates a polar shift then, and then people flip from that and then goes to the positive, right? So it's this thing with polarity. And John Demartini, he works with polarity, but in a different way. But I just want to share this story of the Superman teacher. And when you're crewing at those events, you go into the room, and there's thousands of people that are all going through this. Some people are going through complete catharsis. Some people are just blubbering wrecks when they're going through this, because they're focusing on the stuff that they're maybe in denial about most of their life. And Tony had a great way with his communication to get that across and make it very sort of impactful on the person, right? And so people are crying and screaming and all sorts of things. And so the people that are crewing there, they have to be protected in some way. And so the crew leader used to say to us before we went in the room, would be briefed on what to do, because sometimes people just run. Some people just say, I can't handle this, and they try and run out of the room. So one of our jobs is to talk people back into the room so they get the full benefit of the experience, right? So don't leave halfway through. And so what he would say is, put on your superhero outfit before you go in. Because a lot of energy is flying around there, and they will actually go into you, and you'll start to soak that up if you don't protect yourself before you go in. For some people are like, yeah, well, whatever, But I actually go through the process, and I put on my superhero outfit, I put on my Superman outfit, and I put on my cape and everything, and just kind of visualize bullets bouncing off me and stuff, and energy bullets bouncing off me, and then I'd go in and do it, and I was always fine. I was always strong. I was always able to help people and everything. But then one time I was sent off to do some errand. I was off doing something else, and I got back a bit late, and I didn't go through my process. I was just told, okay, everyone's in the room, go on in there. So I didn't go through my little ritual of putting on my superhero outfit and visualizing myself with it on and being completely impenetrable to anything, right? I didn't do that. I just went into the room, and I went down there, and I stood around, and I was standing there, and everyone's going through their process, and suddenly tears start running down my face. And suddenly I realized that it had got me. I'd connected into everybody else that's going through their process. And I was suddenly in my process at the same time, even though I was supposed to be standing there helping people. Tears were streaming down my face, and suddenly I was in the process as well, because I hadn't put on my protection. I hadn't gone through my ritual before doing it. And that was a great learning for me. That experience was a great learning. It was really the power of ritual, of having a ritual before you go and do something. The same way some athletes would have a ritual before they go and play, and some people who get up on stage will have a ritual before they go on stage, or actors will have a ritual. Different people that get up and perform and do different things will have a ritual before they go up and do it, and it puts them in state so they can do it, right? And I didn't do my ritual, and the difference was unbelievable. And my visualization, the visualization is so powerful. I'm putting on that superhero outfit and being completely impenetrable. So remember that one. There's a lot to learn from that little story. There's a lot, it's very useful. I've mentioned to clients before who feel uncomfortable in social situations, social occasions. They put your superhero outfit on before you walk into that room, and your confidence just shoots up. Very simple little exercise that can make a huge difference. So I've got my Superman shirt on, and I'm feeling good. I'm feeling good. Okay, so we're going to carry on with our reading of the book, The Values Factor, and this is a great part. Well, they're all great parts. Here's a great part. There'll be a lot to learn from this, so make sure you listen in, take notes. We're on page 82, so you've got your book, page 82, just follow along. And I think we're going to maybe 8 pages tonight, so pay attention. Let's go on for a little bit. On the way, not in the way. Recently I was speaking with Jasmine, a client who perceived that she had been hit with a series of extremely painful challenges. She had ended a long-term romantic relationship, lost one close friend to cancer, and nursed her father through a long illness that resulted in his death. Another close friend had moved to another city, and she had had a serious falling out with a third. The end of her relationship had required her to leave a house she loved, while the economic downturn was posing serious challenges to her consulting firm, and she was concerned that she might lose her business. I feel as though the ground has been cut out from under me in just about every area of my life, she told me. The two of us talked together about how she could turn these challenging voids into valuable and inspiring opportunities. I could handle one or two challenges, she said, trying to laugh, but I don't know what to do with all of these. I'm trying hard not to feel completely hopeless, but that is how I feel. I just feel completely defeated. Jasmine was aware of how challenges that we find inspiring can help our brains grow, while challenges that we find frustrating and dispiriting can cause our brains to degenerate. Dr. Demartini, she said to me, I know it sounds silly, but I'm really concerned about my brain and my well-being. How do I protect them when I'm feeling so awful? And how do I find the value in all of this when I can't see a way out? Although Jasmine seemed to be flooded with troubles that she was trying to cope with, I congratulated her for seeking the most productive way with dealing with them. The secret, I told her, is in the way you look at your difficult challenges. If you see all of these challenges as on the way rather than in the way, and as instructive, not obstructive, your brain will stay active and continue to grow. And you will be more likely to maintain your wellness and well-being. Jasmine thought about that for a moment. So instead of seeing a problem as a final defeat, she said slowly, I'm now beginning to see it as a step on the way to something greater. Yes, I said. When you embrace your challenges as lessons about living according to your highest values, you begin to understand what they're teaching you in a way that cues your brain to stay engaged and responsive. Your brain will adapt to these difficult challenges and learn from them. And that effort will literally help your brain to grow. And that in turn will offer you creative solutions and opportunities. Jasmine and I continued to talk about the importance of valuing her apparent challenges. I told her that many people live in a fantasy that they can have ease without difficulty and support without challenge. Then when they encounter difficulties and challenges, they feel frustrated, almost insulted, that life isn't working out the way they fantasized. Because they don't value and seek out the difficult challenges that might inspire them. They end up attracting difficult challenges that do not inspire them. I reminded Jasmine that maximum growth and development occur at the border of support and challenge. Ease and difficulty, order and disorder, that is simply a law of nature. That is why when we live according to our highest values and embrace both support and challenge equally, we grow and develop most efficiently and fulfill our most inspired missions. Okay, so for just a moment, sit with what we just said for just a moment. I'm going to go and turn the air conditioning on because I'm starting to bake and sweat is running down me, so one moment please. Thank you for that. You don't necessarily know where the border is set, I told her. The amount of challenge that you think belongs in your life is not necessarily the amount of challenge that life is going to throw at you. It is all about your perceptions. Maybe you can handle more challenges than you think you can at first. Maybe there is something to learn from going through this set of difficulties, challenges that initially appears to be much harder and more overwhelming than you ever expected. In fact, these obstacles are not in your way, but simply on your way. Once you ask the essential questions about these challenges, discovering their accompanying benefits and opportunities, and once you welcome them and seek the inspiration that they hold, you won't miss the inspiring lessons they have to teach you. These challenges are only feedback responses guiding you to your most authentic self so that you can live more fully according to your highest values. If you don't see your challenges in this way, you may spend all your energy resisting them rather than discovering their potential value. After I asked Jasmine specific questions that helped her discover the hidden benefits of all the challenges she was facing, she came to appreciate this approach. I've done my best to alter my situation, she told me, but now I have found meaning in these challenges. I have transformed my problems, and now I'm actually inspired by them. The key to finding inspiration in your difficulties is asking the right questions. It can be helpful to see how both support and challenge are necessary. Asking the right questions can awaken you to how each of your challenges is actually helping you to fulfill your highest values. So ask yourself what is most important to you in life, and then ask what the challenges you face have taught you about what really matters. Ask as well how they are assisting you. Perhaps they have reinforced the beliefs and highest values you've held for a long time. Or perhaps they have caused your beliefs and highest values to change. Perhaps the challenging obstacles you face have caused you to see new ways that you can fulfill your highest values. Check out the following exercise to think about this question further. Alright, we love the exercise, don't we? Another one, exercise 3. How challenges have affected your hierarchy of values. Challenges hold hidden inspirations and cause you to deepen, rethink, or possibly alter the present set of values that you hold. In this exercise, you have the opportunity to explore how challenges have affected your hierarchy of values. Instructions. Identify a recently perceived challenge that you have undergone. Think about how the challenge has affected your set of values. Did it cause you to reconsider values you had previously held and adopt new values? Did it cause you to reconfirm your allegiance to an old value? Did you discover that the challenge resulted from living by your highest values, or from attempting to not live by them? There are no right or wrong answers to these questions. Only the truth as you see it. Spend at least 15 minutes writing about how your recent challenge affected your hierarchy of values. So that is the exercise for tonight, to do that. So we're going to carry on because we're actually 1, 2, 3 pages from the end of the chapter, and we're going to talk about heaven and hell, as I promised in my email out to all my subscribers today. Because this is how I see it anyway, you know, so I like this. Most of us are familiar with the Western and Middle Eastern religious notion of hell, or its equivalent as an image of unhappiness, suffering, and pain. When things are seemingly not going right in our lives, we may say, I'm in hell. What a hell of a day. Or that was a hellish experience. Whatever your religious perspective, the image of hell is meant to indicate the ultimate in human suffering. Yet, if values come from voids, and if great challenges can call us to our greatest achievements, why do we resist pain and difficult challenges? It's true that we often seek people, activities, and situations that support our highest values and keep us unintentionally dependent. But have you ever noticed that we also attract people, activities, and situations that challenge our values and make us grow? There is a reason for this inevitable attraction, and it happens in every aspect of our lives. The life partner we fall in love with, the family we create, the enterprise we build, the life we design, no matter how perfect these are for us, how well suited, how ideal, these are going to be accompanied by some difficult challenges. Or if they aren't, we are going to attract those difficult challenges from somewhere else. It's a law of nature. You can't have only ease, support, and pleasure. You also must have some difficulty, challenge, and pain. There is and has to be a balance. There has to be both. Otherwise, we would never develop or grow. We would remain exactly as we are, static, smug, and secure in our present stage of development, without having fully discovered our truest, highest values. We would not experience the challenging voids that drive us to greater and greater efforts, deeper and deeper growth, higher and higher values. Without voids, without difficulties, without pains and challenges, we would never go on to achieve the greatness of which we are truly capable. And yet, if we are less mature, or possibly unawake. We want that ease without the hardship. We want that pleasure without the pain. Spiritually, we may seek what some Western and Middle Eastern religious leaders have called heaven, which may have imagined to be a place of eternal rest, pleasure, and so-called happiness, a place where no effort is required. In relationships, we want people who always support us and never challenge us. Mentally, we seek the security of knowing our ideas to be true. We like the idea of learning what comes easily and resist the idea of struggling to achieve knowledge. In our careers, we wish for achievement without setback, an unbroken story of triumph with no bankruptcies, lost jobs, or even periods of uncertainty. Financially speaking, we want money without effort, and when we look at our social circles, we want to be surrounded by admirers only. People who think we are wonderful, not people who doubt, question, or reject us. And physically, we expect, or at least we want, what we think of as perfect health, not to mention a flawless appearance and endless reserves of energy without disease, blemishes, or fatigue. We desire these pleasures without pain, and we think of them as heaven, while their opposites, spiritual struggle, demanding relationships, mental challenges, career roadblocks, financial reverses, social rejection, imperfect health, we consider to be hell. But life without challenge does not offer true fulfillment. It is a delusion, and life with challenge is not hell. It is a source of inspiring and expanding reality. In fact, we need both challenge and support. Too much support, and we have a state of perpetual infantile dependency, which can result in children who take longer to grow up and leave home, business leaders who fear to innovate, and educators who rely on old-fashioned methods of instruction and seldom ask themselves whether a new society requires new forms of teaching people. On the other hand, too much challenge, and we have a state of precocious independence and possibly burnout. It results in children who leave home possibly too soon, taking on challenges they're not ready for, business leaders who think they can ride roughshod over the needs of others, and educators who exclude the highest values of those they teach. What's the solution? A wise balance of challenge and support. So I would offer two new definitions of hell. One, hell is anything about which we have an unbalanced perspective. Hell is what we experience anytime we want ease without difficulty, support without challenge, pleasure without pain. Hell is the futility of expecting ourselves or others to be one-sided, to be uniformly generous, honorable, and kind, with no room for selfish dishonor and cruelty. Anytime we expect anything on this planet to be one-sided, we are setting ourselves up for a life that feels like it's in hell. As the Buddha implied, the desire for that which is unattainable and the desire to avoid that which is unavoidable is a source of human suffering. Let me read that again. As the Buddha implied, the desire for that which is unattainable and the desire to avoid that which is unavoidable is the source of human suffering. Hell is ingratitude. If we can't appreciate, hell is ingratitude. If we can't appreciate the value of difficult challenges, how can we be grateful for the people, activities, and situations that challenge us and help us grow? If we can't see the ways that voids create values, how can we embrace the challenging voids and difficulties that we attract? How can we appreciate the greatness that these voids and difficulties make possible? When we're ungrateful, life is hell. Even Pope John the 23rd once said that hell was a state of ingratitude, while heaven was gratitude. So hell is not some place you go. Hell is a state of mind that emerges when you try to live with unrealistic expectations, such as ease without difficulty, support without challenge, pleasure without pain. If that is truly what you seek, your life will disappoint you, and it will be a living hell. By contrast, every time you set an objective that fits your highest values, you are more likely to embrace challenge and support or pain and pleasure equally, because you understand that both sides of the equation of life are part of fulfilling your highest values. Your greatest voids create your highest values, and your highest values lead you to feel grateful for the synchronous balance of in life. Both pain and pleasure, challenge and support that brings you closer to fulfilling what is most meaningful. That is why the values factor and gratitude are so closely intertwined. Knowing your true highest values and embracing situations that challenge them as well as situations that support them is the key to developing gratitude. We're nearly there. The heaven of gratitude. I have asked people all over the world what they would do if they knew that they had only 24 hours left to live. The vast majority tell me that they would want to say, thank you, I love you, to the people who have contributed to their lives. Why? Because gratitude and love are the ultimate results of all that is. They are the essence of our very existence. They are the fulfillment of our highest values. So by the time we are facing death, we realize that all of our one-sided judgments are simply symptoms of incomplete awareness. What really matters is the ultimate and balanced state of thank you, I love you. It's easy to feel a transient and false form of gratitude when the events of your life support your highest values and everything appears to be easy and going well. If you want to count your blessings during an apparently happy time, you can usually come up with a very long list of things to be grateful for. When true gratitude really comes in handy, though, is when your life seems to be hitting a roadblock after another and when everything around you seems to be challenging your highest values. When you're coping with a broken heart, a troubled child, a rocky marriage, or a retrenched job, you might find it nearly impossible to summon up feelings of gratitude. Not only for the so-called good things in your life, but also for the pain and challenges that are calling you to a deeper level of strength and understanding. Yet paradoxically, this very challenge is what leads you to a deeper search for meaning, so that you awaken to the ever-present synchronous balance of hidden order that results in true gratitude. It is this deeper sense of true gratitude that brings poise and presence during these apparently challenging times. That's why people who imagine having only 24 hours to live momentarily transcend their illusory judgments involving one-sided polarities and have only one wish, to say thank you, I love you, to the special people they love. I find it interesting that the word gratitude is close to the words gracias, thank you in Spanish, and grace, merci, in French. If we have a perfectly balanced perspective, embracing both pain and pleasure, we achieve a state of grace. In this state, we inwardly acknowledge the inherent balance and order of life. We feel a transcendent mercy for all the rights and wrongs that we use to fixate on, and we feel gratitude for every balanced moment of support and challenge, pleasure and pain, ease and difficulty that ever crossed our path. True gratitude momentarily dissolves the voids and fulfills the value. The moment we feel gratitude, our heart opens and out comes true love. This is the ultimate expression of the values factor and its ultimate power. That's powerful stuff to end this evening's lesson on. Yeah, I don't need to say too much about that, do I? It's just very profound, very powerful. I feel it, the truth resonating, vibrating when I'm reading that. It rings true, if you know what I mean. I just feel like I have nothing to say after that. It's like that's it. It's all said. That's it. You know, there's nothing more to say. Good night. Okay, thank you for watching as always, and see you again tomorrow. You're welcome to share these with your friends, to subscribe. Remember to go to drdemartini.com, drdemartini.com. Check out all his stuff and purchase the book as well, either from there or get it on Amazon or wherever you can if you haven't already got it. And we'll see you again tomorrow. And the link below, that's if you want to join my team and receive regular updates. A lot of cool stuff coming at you. If you want to join our financial freedom movement as well, please click on the link below and join our team. And there's a whole lot of other bonuses when you do that as well. So you're very welcome to do that too. And you can just click on that link below now and do that. Even if you don't want the other stuff, you'll still receive regular updates of when different things are happening, and cool free stuff is going to come. So it's a good thing to click on the link below and do that. That's it for me for this evening. Well, actually, there's another hangout happening in about 18 minutes, which I'm going to be on. So please tune into that. I will have sent you an email with the link in that. So if you're not on my email, you need to get on my email to receive those links as well, because we're going to be talking about health, and there's going to be a panel of us on speaking about health and wellness and energy, and so you want to be on that, because that's very, very important stuff as well. Okay, thanks for watching, everybody. See you again mañana.